Hello dear students, welcome you all to the next lecture of the JCE Connect series of online revision lectures. So in the previous three lectures we have discussed about the deflection of beams, discussed the formulas, and we have gone through a few examples. So continuing ahead with the module 2, let us start with the topic losses in pre-stress. So now module 1 and module 2 are very easy for understanding and solving the examples. You get sufficient theory part also in these two modules. So I hope that you all will follow the second part of this module seriously. So let us first start with what is loss. It is a process in which a gradual reduction of initially applied pre-stress takes place over a due course of time. A reasonable estimate of these losses is required from the design point of view. As a civil engineer, it is necessary for us to understand the cause and nature of these losses. So briefly I'll explain what is a loss. Loss is generally, it is the gradual process in which the capacity or the ability of the member to take the load goes on decreasing gradually. So here when we apply a pre-stress force, the same force doesn't remain for the lifetime. With time and due to the effect of various factors, the pre-stress applied goes on reducing. In a sense, the ability or the capacity of the member to carry the load also will reduce. So as a civil engineer, we need to analyze these losses, take them into account before designing itself, so that the serviceability and the durability criterias will be maintained. So let us start this chapter by discussing the formulas required. Before that, just we'll briefly understand the types of losses. This is a 5-mark question which is generally asked in the exam. Which are the different types of losses in pre-tensioning and post-tensioning members? Explain. So if it is with the formulas and explanation, it will be up to 8 to 10 marks. If it is just listing, it will be for 4 to 5 marks. So when we talk about pre-tensioning, we get here 4 types of losses. That is loss due to elastic deformation of concrete, loss due to relaxation of stresses in steel, shrinkage of concrete produces a loss, and creep of concrete. So in pre-tensioning, these are the 4 major factors which will result in loss. So when we go for post-tensioning, we have few more factors. Elastic deformation occurs only in case of successive tensioning, means if we have a set of wires, if they are not tensioned together, if they are tensioned successively, means one after another, then there is a chance of elastic deformation, else this loss is directly zero. The next is relaxation, shrinkage, creep, which are common. Then in post tensioning we have friction loss and anchorage slip, which are additional losses which are not existing in pre-tensioning. Okay, so friction and anchorage slip are the losses which takes place in post tensioning beams. Beyond this, the variation in temperature or uneven loading etc. also may result in some losses, which we are not here analyzing those parts. So firstly, it is important to know your stress calculation. The expression which we will be using is, now the notations might vary from different textbooks, but you follow one standard notation which you like. With each example, don't set changing the notations. So here I have represented the stress equation as sigma c or Fc is equal to P by A plus P into E divided by I multiplied by E, where you know the parameters as you have been solving these examples. So this becomes the basic equation, and using this we need to find the different losses which are taking place, because the loss in pre-stress is nothing but the loss of stress. So let us start with the summary of losses. Now these all formulas you have to make the notes properly so that it will be easy for your reference. So first is loss due to elastic deformation. It is given by loss, it can be represented by a symbol delta also, but I have just represented it as a loss is equal to M into Fc, where M or alpha c, again see the notation, Either it is m, small m, or alpha c is nothing but the modular ratio, which is the ratio of elasticity of steel to elasticity of concrete. Now these values should be known to you all, as they are common and general terms. Don't sit hunting where are these values given. If not given, you have to assume them suitably. Then next comes the relaxation loss. Now this loss is directly taken as 2% to 8% of Fc. We have already seen the formula how we get the Fc, which is nothing but the steel in the stress. Okay, stress in the steel, sorry, forgive me, stress in the steel at the level of concrete. So directly this can be taken as 2% or 8%, but in maximum cases the value is given, which you can use directly in the example. If it is not given, you take it 2% to 8%. It's up to you all. Then next is loss due to shrinkage of concrete. So what is shrinkage and all we have explained in the regular lectures. So here just I'll go through your formula. So loss in stress is given by epsilon Rs into elasticity of steel, because it creates losses in the steel. The stress is lost because of shrinkage of concrete. So basically, if you are referring the code book IS 1343/1980, these formulas are given there. Okay, you can check the formulas from there itself. Now sometimes the shrinkage loss value also will be given directly in the examples. Many examples which we find in the question paper, the loss due to shrinkage is directly given. So this is your third loss which you need to understand. Next, loss due to creep of concrete. So this is epsilon Cs into Es into Fc. Now here Fc is the pre-stressed concrete at the level of steel, which we have found out earlier. Es is modulus of elasticity of steel, and epsilon Cs is ultimate creep strength. Okay, so now this is the theoretical method. We have the IS code method also, where you can use the directly formula for obtaining the loss. Now you be careful when you are answering the paper. See what is the given data. So from that given data, you will be able to analyze whether you have to use the ultimate creep strain method or coefficient method. So if directly the coefficient value is given, or say creep coefficient is given and the range is there, if it is mentioned, you use the IS code method, or otherwise you can use the ultimate creep strain method. Next is friction loss in post tension members. So now friction loss becomes a major loss, because friction force is an opposing force, or which is the force which will reduce the capacity of your section. So loss in pre-stress is given by the formula Px is equal to P naught into P naught into e raised to into bracket minus mu alpha plus kx. Now you have to practice these formulas a bit, especially when you are accounting for frictional losses, because here the cable profile also becomes very important. If the cable is pulled from one end, your slope value will be 4e by L and alpha will be 2 times the slope, whereas if the cable is pulled from both the ends, slope will be 4e by L and alpha will be equal to the slope directly. So go through the formula very much carefully, and once we solve or discuss the example, the application of this formula will be more easy. So the last one is the loss due to anchorage strip. Delta is equal to PL upon A into ES. P we find, therefore the loss of stress is P by A, or directly we can get the loss using the formula delta into ES divided by L. So with this I have just ran through the discussion of the losses in pre-stress. Note down these are formulas, and now this is not the time for sitting and understanding. You have to just now manually practice the examples. You had a lot of time for understanding, and hopefully you have done it at that time. So with this I conclude the lecture of introduction to the losses, where I have given overview of all the 6 types of losses with the formulas. will be giving you the notes which will be having solved examples. So now prepare a list of these formulas so that in the next lecture when we solve the examples, the things become easy for you all. So see you all in the next lecture. Thank you.